Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and update 22.17.3 has dropped yesterday and it introduced 4 new augments as well as made it so that we can finally quick attack and slide attack while we have a fishing spear equipped. This is something that I've been asking for a while because I never understood why we were able to quick attack with a mining laser and not the fishing spear. Now the 4 new augments introduced with this update are Mesa's Waltz for Mesa's Peacemaker, Concentrated Arrow for Ivara's Artemis Bow, Energy Transfer for Equinox's Menden Maim, and Reaping Chakram for Nesha's Blazing Chakram. And let's start it off with Concentrated Arrow, which is the augment for Ivara's Artemis Bow. Now this changes the ability from firing multiple arrows that will tilt depending on how much you draw the bow back into firing a single arrow that if you hit a headshot with it will have 50% more crit chance and explode in a 7-meter radius. It also removes the punch through on the ability, which doesn't matter because the explosion does so much damage you don't really need punch through. Though bear in mind that the headshot condition applies to both the extra crit chance and the explosion, so if you just body shot the enemy you will not have the 50% extra crit and you will not trigger the explosion. This is a really cool augment and it's strong as well. The explosion does an absolute crap ton of damage, so going for headshots is definitely recommended with this. It also shakes the ability up quite a bit because you have to be far more precise, because not only are you firing only one arrow, the projectile itself is actually fairly small, so you have to be really accurate. You might also want to replace one of the damage mods on your stat stick bow with a fire rate mod instead, because previously fire rate wasn't that big of a deal because it just changed the orientation of the arrows, whereas now you actually have to draw the bow back all the way to fire the explosive arrow. So overall, a pretty cool augment, and if you want to get your hands on this, it is sold by Cephalon Suda if you're the rank of Genius, and Parent Sequence if you're the rank of Partner for 25,000 standing. Next up, we have the Energy Transfer augment for Equinox, which augments Menden Maim and makes it keep the full charge when switching between Mend and Maim by switching your day and night form. And I don't know if it's just me not playing Equinox enough and thus not getting into situations where I would be like, oh my god, this is the best augment ever, but I really don't see the usefulness of this. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty neat. It gives you a little bit of utility and lets you switch between Mend and Maim without losing all your stacked up damage, but is it really worth the mod slot? I personally don't think so. To me, it just feels like something that should be a base part of the ability rather than just an augment. But then again, it may just be me not playing Equinox enough to a point where I would realize how amazing this is if I got into some sticky situations where I would really want to switch back and forth. So if you want to get this, you can get it if you're the rank of Maxim under Arbiters of Hexes or the rank of Flawless under Duloka for 25,000 standing. Next up is the Reaping Chakram augment for Nesha's Blazing Chakram, which makes it do double damage and double healing for each enemy it hits while it travels. Now this can unsurprisingly do quite a bit of damage if you hit enough enemies with it. But hitting enough enemies for it to do like monstrous amount of damage can be somewhat difficult because of the way Chakram works, where if it hits any kind of level geometry it will instantly bounce back. I'm not going to be using this myself because I mostly use Chakram just to travel around. I find it rather unwieldy for doing damage, but if you like doing damage with Chakram, this is a fantastic augment for you, especially if you stack it with a nice chunk of power strength, because that power strength is going to get multiplied by ludicrous amounts as you hit more and more enemies, leading to nice chunks of damage being done to the enemies, especially as the Chakram is traveling back and hitting the enemies again, but also a nice bit of healing too. So if you want to get your hands on this augment, you can get it by being the rank of General under the Steel Meridian or the rank of Genius under Cephalon Suda for 25,000 standing. And we top it all off with Mesa's Waltz, which used to be a conclave mod that allowed you to move at 50% speed while using Peacemaker that's been reworked to work everywhere in the game. Now as far as I can tell, this does not have any downsides. It doesn't drain more energy, it doesn't lower your damage, and it doesn't even take up a mod slot because it's an Exilus mod. Now while you can't jump or bullet jump or sprint while you're using this, you can still roll, so you can still move around at a decent speed. And even though I'm pretty sure it would be better for you to turn off Peacemaker, let your energy regen kick in and then move to where you need to be and gain some energy while you're doing it, it doesn't matter. It's an Exilus mod, just slap it on, it doesn't matter. Now this is something that people have been asking for a while now, just, you know, let us put augments into Exilus slots. And while I see why they don't want to do it with all of them, because some of them would be pretty damn overpowered if you didn't have to give up a normal mod slot for them, if they just did it with the less used ones or even the unused ones, I don't think it would be that big of a deal, because some of these augments are really cool, they're just not worth giving up a mod slot for. But if you could just slap them into the Exilus mod, I think more people would use them. But anyway, if you want to get your hands on Mesa's Waltz, you can get it by being the rank of General under Steel Meridian, rank of Exalted under Red Veil, or the rank of Tempest in Conclave for 25,000 standing. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.